Hey, it's your boy Deric coming to you live from inside my office. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Deric Lipski. Been doing real estate for over 21 years. Hundreds and hundreds of homes sold, hundreds of 5-star reviews. You guys can certainly feel free to look at them. There'll be a link in the page, in the comment section or on my page. You can go review any of those that you want to see. So I get asked questions all the time about real estate. I've pretty much done everything, been in a transaction that had something happen or heard of it or seen it or somehow been involved in almost any kind of transaction you can almost imagine. So my experience, they've been asking me, people call me, ask me questions, they'll send me emails, they'll leave comments in some of these videos about questions they have. And this is a big question now that we've been dealing with for a while, which is, how do I get my offer accepted? I'm out there shopping, I'm competing against hundreds of people, I always get beat out. How do I get my offer accepted? So whether you're an agent watching this and trying to get some tips on how to get your buyer's offer accepted, or you're a buyer trying to tell your agent, do these things, this will work. So my name is Deric Lipski. I'm with Keller Williams Real Estate. I'm up here in the Northeast in the Boston area, a little south of Boston actually. And again, it's a very hot market out here. So, you know, I'm dealing with this. I'm mainly a listing broker, but I do a lot with buyers. So I'm probably 75% heavy seller side and 25% buyer side, which means I see all the offers. So when I have an open house or I have a listing that comes on and we get, just the last one we had 448 buyers come through there, we got 46 offers on the property. When you get those kind of things, you look at every offer, you can kind of see what some of the good agents are critiquing, some agents that don't write offers so well, what's going on with them, and you kind of pick what's best for you and your seller with your seller's help. Obviously, you guys are a team effort. So the first one here is, in order to get my offer accepted, what do I got to do? What do I be prepared for? So number one, you got to make sure you like the house. You know you want to like the house. I'm assuming you wouldn't be there if you didn't like the house, and that's sort of a free one. The real number one is, don't be afraid to overpay, okay? You're going to have to overbid people. If it's a hot property, it just came on the market, you're going to have to overbid everybody else to get it. If it's on for $350, you're going to end up in the $415, $425 maybe. So be prepared that that's where you're at. And here's a tip for you too. If you're only approved for $400,000, don't look at homes at $399. You're not going to get them. You get to look at homes at $325 and $350 and hope to go up to $400, because that's how hot this market is today. Now, in different markets, that isn't a problem, but in today's market, this is exactly what you have to do. So you have to be looking a little bit below what you're approved for so that you may be able to negotiate up to that, unless, and here's the one caveat, if this home has been on the market for like 30, 60, 90 days and hasn't got an agreement yet, then it's probably overpriced, and the sellers at that point are probably going to be open to an offer. But if that's not the case, if it's brand new, you may have to overpay for that. So how do you guys do that? How do you overpay for the house? Well, you're going to have to up your bid. If it's on for $350, you want to go $375, $400, $425, whatever you and your broker talk about is the best decision for you. And you want to make sure the payments make sense to you. And also talk to your mortgage guy to make sure that you can do this. Give him the facts to make sure he knows, here's the taxes. They have to know this so that you don't want to win a bid and then go, oh, I can't buy it because the taxes are too high, my payment's too high for me. So make sure you run everything by your agent, your real estate agent, and your mortgage broker. Don't be afraid to put an escalation clause in, right? What is the next escalation clause? An escalation clause says, I will go $1,000 over any other bona fide offer up to a max that you've set. So let's say the house is on for $350. And let's say we know they're going to get 30 offers, so really the bidding is going to start at $400. So you make your offer at $400, or whatever number you choose, and then you say, I'll go $1,000 over any other offer up to $425, $410, $411, $450, whatever that number is for you that says, like, I don't want to go above this, this is the highest I want to go. And so the benefit of that clause is that you don't have to spend more money than you have to. If 20 offers come in and the highest offer is $418 and you were going to go $425, where you put the escalation clause, buyer will go $1,000 over any other bona fide offer up to $425, your offer is actually $419. It automatically counters all those other offers. So it's a little tip that you can use in terms of trying to get your offer accepted above somebody else. Now, some agents won't accept escalation clauses, and if that's the case, you just have to put your highest and best. Believe me, in this market, and I'm telling this as a listing broker and working with sellers, we don't come back to people. We do not go back to agents. So if you guys make an offer and you're expecting a final and highest, a final and best, we're not going to give it to you. We already have someone doing that already. So we're taking the best offer for the seller. What do we look at? A lot of different things. Number one is, what price are they offering? That's the number one thing we look at. Number two, big deposit, okay? If you want to get your offer accepted, have a big deposit, as big as you can do. If you're going FHA or VA or whatever these loans are that you don't have to put a lot of money down, then, if you have more money to put it down, you'll get it back at closing. If you don't have, put down the most you can put down, even if it means putting down the entire 3.5% or 4% or 5%, whatever that is amount they have saved up as the deposit, because that's only going to go towards your mortgage anyways, but it's going to make you look like you have more skin in the game to the seller. The bigger the deposit, the better the chance of the loan going through, the seller's going to be more happy. It's one of the things that I look for with my sellers, and that's one of the things we strategically look at: price and deposit. And what are the terms? One of the terms is obviously price. One of the other terms is how much money you're going to put down. Is how serious are these buyers? If they're putting down, I guess I'm putting down $1,000 deposit with the offer and $1,000 deposit with the P&S, so it's a total of $2,000. No. If I got a guy putting down $10,000 with his offer and $90,000 down with the P&S, hey, he's got $100,000 in the game. It could be the same offer. They both offering $350,000, but I'm taking the $100,000 down because this guy's got skin in the game, which is what I just did the other day with another buyer. We had to put $100,000 down, and we got the house. Again, he had it. If you don't have it, put as much as you can within reason. Number 3, don't ask for closing costs. If you ask for the seller to pay for buyer closing costs, now again, you have to look at the market. If you're in a seller's market like we're in today, which is super crazy, and there's 50 bids, and no one's putting that in there, and you put that in there, don't think for a second that they're going to take that. They're going to be like, I got 10 other guys offering me $450. You want to offer me $450 with 10,000 coming back, so my net is only $440. No, I'm not taking that. So what I would do if you need closing costs put in, maybe after you lock up the deal, try to talk to the agent about maybe doing something when it comes time to P&S to try to affect those numbers. But in the offer, I would definitely not do that. It's going to hurt you more than help you. Find out, number 4, find out if there's any dates for the seller that are important to them. So if you're putting an offer in and they're trying to find a house, or they've already found a house and they're closing in 2 months from now, again, if all offers are the same and you're the one person that puts the date for their close date, the chances of you getting it are a lot higher than somebody else. So find out from the other agent what dates are important to the seller about, getting this house. Do I close the end of July? Am I closing the end of September? What are they looking for? It's only going to help your case because you're trying to cater to the seller. Because remember, this is a seller's market. Number 5, always make sure you have an updated pre-approval. This market's changing so fast that with COVID and all these different things, one day you're approved, the next day you're not. Try to have the most updated pre-approval you can. And most mortgage brokers will give it to you on the fly. So if you're going to make an offer, try to have your pre-approval catered to that offer. When we're 123 Banana Street, it's going to say, Deric is pre-approved for 123 Banana Street for $420,000. That's only going to look impressive to the listing agent. So you want to make sure that he knows that date is going to be new. Like, this was just done. They've reran the numbers. They know that this person is qualified for the loan. If I get a pre-approval and it's 90 days old, I'm not happy about taking that offer. In fact, I'm going to call the mortgage broker and spend my time on the phone going, what's going on with this guy? Why is it a 90-day-old? This should be no more than 30, maybe 60 days old. 90 days? Is this guy even qualify for a loan anymore? Has he lost hours at work? Has anything changed? So you just don't know. You have to always have updated pre-approvals and have your agent, mortgage broker, be aware that that's what you want. Most of the good ones have no problem doing that. It's the ones that are lazy, like, you don't need one, and they tell you all this different advice. Don't listen to them. Number 6, try to have your agent connect a little with the other agent. Try to have him talk to him if you can. Most agents, like to work with people they like. I'm not saying Brown knows the guy, but what I am saying is trying to have your agent reach out and have a conversation. Now, sometimes you feel like me and I'm juggling, 15 deals at the same time, and I got 2 open houses and I'm getting 46 offers from both open houses, which is 96 offers. I don't have time to have like 100 conversations with 100 different agents. But if I only have one open house this weekend and I'm getting 24 offers on it, and an agent calls me and says, hey, can I ask you a couple quick questions? I just want to talk to you. What's important about the seller? Is there anything we can do to make this offer a little more attractive, Deric? We'd like to work with you. All those kind of things. It's just only going to help your case. It's trying to find out any information about the house that will be helpful for your offer. So have the agent try to buddy up with the other agent if he knows them and make him feel comfortable that the deal is going to go together. Number 7, FHA, conventional, and cash. Which of these is better for a seller? Cash always wins, right? Cash is number 1. We get an offer for $450 cash, and we get an offer for $450 FHA, conventional, VA. Cash is always number 1. Number 2 will be conventional. Number 3 is going to be FHA and VA. Now, the reason people look at that is because FHA and VA might have a little stricter guidelines about inspection reports, checking for lead paint, checking for termites, no chipping paint on the outside, can't have circuit breakers, has to have fuses. Certain small things that they have guidelines for lending, so they make it a little bit harder, or cash doesn't care. Conventionals are a little bit more lenient as well. So in the order of trying to get things done, if you have the option to pick from either a VA, FHA, or conventional loan, try to put them in the order as you want to do conventional, and then FHA and VA are pretty much the same boat. So I think VA might be a little bit better, but the problem with the VA is that there's no money down on that, which is a great loan for people that are in the military. But when a seller gets an offer and he's got 10 offers and they're all the same thing, but one has no money down, so has no skin in the game for the deposit, if the deal falls apart, that person's not out any money. The seller that I'm representing has lost time and effort in a market like this, so he's not going to take that. He wants someone with skin in the game. Again, VA loans are great loans. You can still put money down and get it back at closing, but you always want to tell the seller, like, hey, I'm in this with you. Like, I'm willing to put money up to verify that I'm going to continue this deal to the very end. Number 8, do your homework when it comes to value when you see it. If you're out there shopping and you lost a few homes, you already know value as soon as you see it. You're like, that's the house, I want to put an offer on it, let's go 20,000 over asking right now. A lot of times, I'll take buyers out who are newer and they want to, they think they're Donald Trump, they're going to negotiate this house on for 200, offer them 110. I'm like, this is not the market, offer them 110. I'm definitely the guy. If you're going to be like that, I'm not the guy that's represent you, because it's a waste of time. We already know the guy's not going to. Now, if the home's been on the market for a year, that's a different story. But if it's a hot property on the market and there's a million offers on it, no, you can't do that kind of stuff. That ain't going to work. It's not going to come together for you. So no value, like look at houses, get an idea of what's going on in agreement, how fast are things in this neighborhood going on in agreement. So when something pops up, you can act fast. You can see clear value and go, that's clear value, right? When you're shopping for cars, think of it this way. If you're looking for a Honda Accord and you go to 3 dealerships and you see, one that's $10,000 and it has the cloth seats and has a basic radio, and then you see another one that's $10,000 and has, leather seats and an upgraded Sirius radio. Then you see the next one who's got fancy rims, leather seats, moonroof, and a fancy radio, and they're all 10 grand. Well, the clear value is the one at the end because it just has more options. The same way, you got to know value when you're looking at these houses right away. Like, that's clear value. We'll make an offer on this before anyone else figures it out. Don't be afraid to ask the listing broker as well. A lot of times they'll hold all showings to the open house. Ask, hey, can we get in there ahead of time? Is it possible? If we made them a full price offer today, would they take it and shut down the open house? You never know. I get asked it. I would say no, but I don't blame you for asking. But if I had a house that was in the market for $350 and someone offered me $450 and said, hey, stop the open house, we need to be 100 grand over asking, and I don't think we're going to get over $415 at the open house, I'm going to tell someone, we got a great offer. Let's go with this, Certainly getting back to step 1, when I said don't be afraid to overpay, remember this. This just kind of spun in my head. Remember this, that the house has to appraise. No matter what you pay for it, it has to appraise for the value. If it doesn't appraise, then you don't pay, unless you know it's not going to appraise, and in your offer you wrote, I will pay over appraisal value, right? So some people are doing that. They're paying over appraisal value, so they guarantee the seller will get a certain amount of money. Here's an example. Home's in the market for $400. You offer $420. We all know the house is only going to approve for $395. You tell the seller, hey, I'm willing to go up to $420. I'm willing to pay over appraisal value up to my original offer of $420. If you take my offer, which means I'm going to give, if it only appraises at $390, I'm coming to the table with an extra 35 grand plus my down payment to make sure that this deal goes together. And that's a surety of close for the seller. Like, that's going to go, oh, okay, let's go with this offer. It makes more sense. He's guaranteeing my price. Fill out all your documents. When you guys are doing stuff, make sure when you send an offer, fill out all the documents necessary. Now, a lot of times agents will have what they want in the MLS listing. If you're going to send an offer, have A, B, C, and D. Number 1, we need most likely we require a couple of different things. Number 1, a copy of the deposit check, if not the deposit check dropped off at time of offer. Number 2, the actual offer form. Number 3, agency disclosure that says that the agent works for you. Number 4, lead paint disclosure. The house built for 1978, you have to have a copy of lead paint with it. Number 5, a copy of your pre-approval. Now, some agents will also include in that list a seller disclosure form that says what the seller knows about the house, so you can see that before you make an offer, sign it, and send it back. There may be a couple things that some agents are looking for besides that, but just be aware, what are the documents, and we're sending a complete offer, because if I get an offer and it's not complete, I don't even consider it. I'll tell myself I had this piece of paper, but it means nothing to us because he doesn't feel, I don't have a pre-approval, I don't have a check, this is just someone chicken scratch on a piece of paper. contingencies. Consider not having as less contingencies as you can. We talked about this. If you have to sell a house to buy a house and you put that in your offer and there's 10 other offers saying, we want to buy a house without worry about selling a house, they're going to not look at yours. They're going to look at those other ones unless you make some kind of crazy, ridiculous offer that's, going to be in favor for the seller. So try to eliminate as many contingencies as you can. One of the contingencies is no home inspection, right? Some people waive inspection, like, hey, I'm going to take it as is. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough with myself. I'm going to make sure it is. Or inspections for informational purposes only. So that's one of the things you can do to make your offer look a little better is either waive inspection or inspections for informational purposes only. The other thing we talked about a minute ago was waiving appraisal. So sometimes you can call your mortgage broker, they can get the address, you can tell them what you're going to offer, and they'll put it through DU underwriting, and they'll tell you if they're going to need an appraisal or not. Some of these companies are not even doing appraisals anymore because there's so many comps for that house that shows that price would work. They don't have to do that. So they can say, yeah, you can waive appraisal. So that's a possibility. Or paying over appraisal value. So there's a couple contingencies you can get rid of there that are going to be helpful for you. Letter, you can write a letter. This has been a debate for mine. I think a lot of agents, will send a letter. Honestly, if I'm selling a house and someone sends me a letter, it's not going to sway me. I want my money. And I think most people like that. I'm not going to go down 10,000 or 20,000 less than the next offer because you wrote a letter saying you love the house and you grew up in the area and you would love to raise your family there. Everyone would try to make on the offer. It's nice, and if you have all the offers at the end of the table that are all exactly the same and one has a letter and it shows a little personality, maybe that's a swaying thing. But that's more emotion. When I'm with my sellers, we're looking at facts. This is a business transaction. Unless you're selling to a family member, that's a different thing, or a friend. But otherwise, it's a business transaction. We keep it business until the transaction is over. So letter with offers, I don't do them. Other people do. You can kind of weigh that yourself if you want to do that, but that is an option. Saying we walked through the house, it smelled like roses. It reminded us of our early childhood. We grew up in the area. We have 2 little kids, Derek Jr. and Adam, and we want to raise them here, and this is a great neighborhood, and you are the best person in the world, and whatever. I don't know, it may work, it may not. I don't like it personally myself, but some people do it. One of the other things you can do that's very helpful for the listing agent to help you get a home and understand your offer is to have things mapped out. A cover letter with your offer is always beneficial. When I see that, I know this agent has taken his time to not only get all the parts of the offer, but he's explaining who's involved in the deal. Hey, I'm involved in the deal. Here's my contact. Here's my email. By the way, here's the mortgage broker that's going to be repping this deal. Here's his information. Here's his email. Also, we're going to use this for the closing attorney. Here's his offer. Here's his number. Here's his email. And we're probably going to use this home inspector. Here's his information. So you know. So if I see a deal come in, and I go, okay, now I know all the players. Oh, I know that guy. I know him. Oh, I know him. Yeah. I'm going to be a little more familiar. The chances of me knowing someone, obviously in this area, 21 years of business, I know a lot of the people here. Chances of me knowing someone and being a little more comfortable is definitely there. And it also shows a little more pride, I don't want to say pride in ownership, but pride in the product that they're trying to present to me to get them to sell the property. So having a letter stating that, who's involved, the players in the game, and what's going on. And, it doesn't have to be crazy, but it'd be nice if it's professional. We have, and you can go and look. You can, if you're an agent watching this, how do you get a letter like that? You go on Canva. Canva is a free software company. You can load up a photo of yourself. You can map it all out. It'll look professional, and you can it can look world class, and it costs nothing to add that to your offer. So I hope these tips have helped you guys. This is coming from an agent who sees offers all day. Now, when I make offers, I use the same rules. I'm calling the agent. I'm trying to do the big deposit. I'm trying to send a letter with it. I'm saying who's involved in the deal. I'm trying to make sure our offer looks better than the rest. And I'm waiving what we can waive, provided the buyer's okay with that, to get our offer accepted over the competition. And I'm talking to the brokers. I'm calling them, hey, what's going on? I'm trying to form some kind of a commonality bond and make this thing happen. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you're an agent and you have any tips, you want to leave some down for other people, leave them here. If you're a buyer and you have more questions, please leave them here. You guys can contact me through my phone number. My email is deriklipski@gmail.com. Phone number is, if you're thinking about buying or selling, 508-326-5320. I said that right? 508-326-5320. My mind's going a million miles an hour. Anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. I'll be putting more up later. Happy summer.